have been together on a journey, working out what God is saying for the future of the diocese. We've also been listening to those who are not part of that distinct Christian journey. With the rest of us, have discerned we should have an ambitious vision of humanity reconciled, of creation restored. And we know that that is an almost impossible ask. But it gives us hope because it's something we can work towards with other people. In our conversations and explorations, we've discovered that there are values that enable us to be hopeful for the future because they're already a reality in this diocese. Openness, generosity, creativity, bravery. There is evidence of all those being vital values in our diocese already, ones that we would want to develop for the future.
We believe in the power of simplicity. Our vision statement is loving Jesus, loving people, loving lot, please.
Church is a community within a community. It's part of the community. It's another organisation meeting the needs and filling the gaps. And the openness that you can just pop in, you can ask questions.
People of all generations coming together, chatting about faith, about life, supporting and loving one another, having our doors open but also being open ourselves.
We are a church for everybody, not just for its members. This is an active building. It's really important that we acknowledge the fact that we've got tenants in this building and charities engaging with the community, working with children and young people and enlivening the worship.
As a church, our vision centres around three words: connecting, serving and transforming. And at the heart of those words, or the vision, is our desire to be generous to our local community. We recognise that there is a massive issue with low academic achievements in our communities. If we can find a way to develop people's practical skills, to develop that aspiration for life, we do that because of the love that we've received from Christ, and that we want to show that love in practical ways.
Church in a community garden. We are a really welcoming space for people within the church. Diocese of Bristol declared a common emergency, and I think when we declare an emergency, we should expect to do things differently. And this is my response to that declaration. I'm not an artist myself, but I'll tell you what, I got some huge pumpkins that I grew over there, and I feel like I took part in creating them. But because we're in Church in the Garden, those are the walls of the church. So I get to grow the walls of the church, and our church is creating, it is different.
The well is, we meet in a school, we meet in St Francis School. It is right in the middle of a thicket of housing here in North Swindon. This whole area has been built in the last 20 years. For all of us who are involved, it just felt like a real step of faith to see what God might do if we made ourselves available to Him.
So here in Bristol Cathedral, one of the areas where we've had to be most brave and most open has been in addressing the legacy of slavery. So behind me you can see John Isaac Daniel. He is a representation of a slave owned by the Daniel family. The Daniel family are commemorated in an enormous stained glass window in this cathedral. They also benefited from the slave economy. The family of John Isaac Daniel are the descendants of those slaves. And it's our privilege to work with them as we try to understand how do we go forward addressing issues of racial justice in our city and in our cathedral.
And now we continue the journey, working out what those values mean practically and supporting each other as we keep emphasising our openness, our creativity, our generosity and our bravery. In all our discussions, we have known that Christ has been with us and will be with us. And we know that we are called as Christians to be here with others, here with you.